Amazon confirms, The Summer I Turned Pretty will return with a movie sequel. The Summer I Turned Pretty was always supposed to end after 3 seasons, but a small detail at the end of the series finale got fans wondering about the possibility of a continuation. Well, it didn't take long after the series finale for Prime Video to announce a The Summer I Turned Pretty movie. A book-to-screen adaptation of Jenny Han's novel trilogy of the same name, the show has had everyone in a chokehold ever since it first came out in 2022. Now, after 3 seasons, Belly, played by Lola Tung, has finally chosen the brother she has loved all her life. Given the show's ending, which tied all loose ends and concluded the source material, a 4th season or movie had felt like a stretch, but some clues from the show's creator and writer, Jenny Han, kept fans' hopes up. But first, how does season 3 end? Spoilers ahead. The 3rd season of the young adult show ends with Belly and Conrad, played by Christopher Brinny, enjoying their happily ever after at their beach house in Cousins, while Jeremiah, played by Gavin Cosaleño, moves on with Denise, played by Isabella Briggs. So, is The Summer I Turned Pretty movie actually happening? Yes. According to the official press release by Amazon Prime Video, the TSITP franchise is expanding with a feature film. Jenny Han's letter at the end of the series had first hinted at a new chapter at Cousins. The letter in question was displayed during the TV series end credits, which had the concluding words, "Maybe we'll meet again one summer in Cousins. Until then." Previously, in a June 2025 interview with Entertainment Weekly, when asked for a possible continuation of the hit series, Han had said, "Never say never, I never do." Similarly, Tung had told the publication, "I think it's such a privilege to be any part of her cinematic universe, so if I was ever asked, I'm there." Well, they kept their word because we are really going to see Belly and Conrad again. What will the movie be about? While exact plot details of the movie are under wraps, it is set to conclude the franchise's story, picking up where season 3 left off. It will be directed by Jenny Han and written by Han and Sarah Kucherka. At the official announcement of the movie, Han said, "There is another big milestone left in Belly's journey, and I thought only a movie could give it its proper due. I'm so grateful to Prime Video for continuing to support my vision for this story and for making it possible to share this final chapter with the fans." The Summer I Turned Pretty's messiness is still no match for this chaotic teen comedy series. The Summer I Turned Pretty has officially concluded, with only an upcoming movie left to finish telling Belly Conklin's Lola Tung story. Like the rest of the series, the show's final season was a true roller coaster ride, as Belly found herself unable to keep burying her feelings for Conrad Fisher, Christopher Brinny, in spite of her engagement to Jeremiah Fisher, Gavin Cosaleño. The series ended as it should, with Belly taking some time to find herself in Paris, and then Belly and Conrad ultimately ending up together. Still, though, it was a wild journey to get to that point, and Belly's failed wedding in particular caused quite a bit of fallout. Aside from the show's wonderful setting of Cousins Beach, The Summer I Turned Pretty is best known for its messy storylines, most of all its central love triangle between Belly and the Fisher brothers. Conrad may be Belly's great love, but her intense ties to Jeremiah and her own insecurities had her torn between the brothers throughout the course of the series. While it's true that Belly, her romantic pursuits, and her occasionally questionable choices were messy, the drama of The Summer I Turned Pretty is still no match for the chaos of Netflix's hilarious teen comedy series, Never Have I Ever. Never Have I Ever's Devi Vishwakumar is a complex and flawed heroine. Never Have I Ever's main plot is driven specifically by the actions of its main character, Devi Vishwakumar Maitreyi Ramakrishnan. The series starts off at the beginning of Devi's sophomore year of high school. The previous year, she dealt with the sudden death of her father, Senthil Ramamurthy, and her own subsequent and inexplicable loss of the use of her legs. Now, Devi is determined to turn her life around and become popular, and that starts with her quest to get a boyfriend. Devi's goals don't go as planned, so she asks her longtime crush, Paxton Hall Yoshida, Darren Barnett, to sleep with her, and he actually says yes. Instead, though, the two end up developing a friendship that quickly changes her social life. In the meantime, Devi tries to balance her complicated home life, her academic pursuits, and her close friendships with the sudden new developments in her social status and her dating life. Like Belly, Devi deals with grief, heartbreak, and coming of age in spite of a number of obstacles. Unlike other typical teenage girl protagonists, though, Devi is unabashedly angry and chaotic. Devi has a hard time controlling her temper, which leads to a number of outbursts from her at the worst possible moments, like at school and at parties. She also gets into trouble at school for things like spreading rumors and getting into fights, particularly when she acts on her anger without thinking things through first. Devi tends to get so focused on what she wants, and will do anything to get those things, which often cause conflict with the people to whom she's closest. Because of this, Devi is an incredibly flawed and often frustrating main character who is given the opportunity to be messy and selfish, but who still gets some really impactful character development as the series delves into her grief and insecurities. To top it all off, Devi's inner thoughts are narrated by John McEnroe, who really plays up her dramatized perception of her life while also allowing viewers to understand Devi's perspective. Never Have I Ever's central love triangle is even more chaotic than The Summer I Turned Pretty's. Belly's love triangle between Conrad and Jeremiah is messy because they're brothers, and because she flip-flops between the two of them quite a bit throughout the series. Aside from those factors, though, her relationships with Conrad and Jeremiah are both sincere, and not particularly chaotic. When Belly chooses each brother at various times, she really believes that she is all in with that relationship, and she tries her best to make it work. Devi's central love triangle, on the other hand, is pretty dramatic in comparison. Early on in Never Have I Ever, Devi starts to develop a new friendship with Paxton, while trying to get him to finally see her as a romantic option. Meanwhile, Devi's longtime arch-nemesis, Ben Gross Jaron Lewison, continues to play a significant role in her life. As Devi starts to get more involved in the social scene at her high school, she butts heads with Ben more than ever, but the two of them start to reconsider their dynamic. Belly's love triangle with the Fisher brothers is seen as messy because each time she has to choose between the two of them, she chooses a different one. The first time that Devi has to choose between